Okay, this is poster practice page 2. We're going to start with combining like terms. So remember, a term, if I have an expression like this one, it's everything separated by a plus or a minus sign. So this is a term, negative 3x is a term, negative 5 is a term, and 3 is a term. So on combining like terms, what you're going to do is combine or add or subtract terms that are alike, meaning they have the same exact set of variables. Okay, so we're going to start by combining the negative 4x and 3x. And we get, it's 4x and negative 3x, sorry, so we're going to subtract and we get 1x. And then we're going to combine the negative 5 and 3, so the signs are different, so we subtract. So 5 minus 3 is 2, and there are more negatives. Now this is simplified because each term has a different set of variables. There's no like terms left. Okay, so now this one, x squares and x's are not the same exact set of variables, so those are different terms. So I've got two that have x squares, so I'm going to combine those. So 5 minus 2 is 3x squared. Let's do a different color here. And then our x's combine, and I get 5x. Okay, so this one now, they won't always be in the right order. So you just have to look. So I have x squared here. That's not an x squared, but that is. So I'm going to combine those so the signs are different. So 3 minus 2 is 1, and there are more negatives. And then I can combine my x's. So negative 3 and 4, signs are different, so I subtract, and there are more positives. And if it's 1, you can just put x if you want, or you can put the 1x, either way. And then we have, let's get another color. Constant, there's nothing to add to that, so we're just going to write it down. Okay, I'm sorry, I thought I paused that, so we had a little delay in there. At least I wasn't talking. Okay, so distributive property is the next thing on simplifying expressions that we end up doing a lot of. So distributive, this just means two of these. Okay, so we're going to distribute, we're going to multiply both of those by 2. So this becomes negative 4x and then plus 8. If you think about this, if you get a negative x and a negative x, so that's negative 2x, plus 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get 2 of those, so we've got another negative 2x's and another 4 ones, so there's 2 of those equaling negative 4x, and then there's 2 of these, which is 8. Okay, we won't draw them all, just to show you. So we're going to distribute our negative 1. So negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. Negative times a negative is a positive, so that's positive 2. If there's 3 terms inside or 27 terms inside, you distribute to every term inside those parentheses. So negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9x. Negative 3 times negative 3, signs are the same, so the answer is positive. And then this is simplified because there's nothing I can combine. All right, simplifying expressions with variables is just like doing it without variables. It's just we can only combine down to only like terms, right? So it's just PEMDAS. So parentheses, and by parentheses we don't mean the distribute, we mean what's inside the parentheses. So we could distribute this one and then combine like terms, but let's go ahead and follow the rules. And we're going to do what's inside the parentheses. So 2 times 4 minus 2 is 2x. Then we're going to do any multiplies from left to right. So there's 1. So we have 4x, and just write everything else down. And then we're going to add and subtract, but when you've got variables, that's going to be combine like terms. So this becomes combine like terms. Okay, so I'm going to combine my x's. 4 minus 3 is 1. And I'm left with a -5 that I can't combine. So that's simplified because it's just terms that I cannot combine. No more multiplies, no more parentheses, just terms added or subtracted that I can no longer combine. All right, so this next one. No parentheses, no exponents. So what we're going to do is any multiplication and divisions. So there's the multiplication right there. So we're going to do that. So everything else we're just going to write down. 2x plus 4 times 2 is 8. And write everything else down. And then we do our add and subtract from left to right. But it's going to be combine like terms when we have variables. So 2 plus -6, signs are different, so we subtract. And there are more negatives. What I tend to do when I'm combining like terms is just cross them out as I go, and then I'm left. Other people will do a different shape, and that's okay too. I tend to just cross out the ones I've used so that I can see it better. 8 plus 3 is, of course, 11. All right, so this one, parentheses. Yes, there are parentheses. That is true. However, there's nothing I can do inside the parentheses. So this distribute is a part of multiply. So we're going to save that for our multiply step, okay? So we've got exponents. We can do something with that. So 3 squared is 9. And then we're going to do any multiply or divide. So this distributive is a multiply, like I just said. So then remember the negative goes with it. So -2 times x is -2x. -2 times 3 is -6. Then we're going to add or subtract, which is combine like terms. So I'm going to add my x's. -2 and -4. Signs are the same, so we add and keep the sign. And then I'm going to combine the rest of them, and I'll go ahead and do both. I'll do the shape. 9 minus 6 is 3. Minus 3 is 0. So we could do plus 0, or we can just say minus 6x. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I would like you to stop here as well and work on ChooseYourTomorrow.com, getting 10 of each of the types of problems that I assigned. I suggest you do that before you go on to the next video on this page. All right, ask me if you need any help.